Hey guys, welcome to the Toy Vox. It's been a long time. It's been 4 months, 5 months since I've done a video. To quote the great Cody Rhodes, what do you guys want to talk about? I got in a little hot water, not going into details. It is what it is. That roadmap video caused a lot of shit amongst the community on social media platforms, blah, 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 blah. I'll spare the details, but regardless, this recent drop is just way too good not to jump back into it. So I'm not going to bore you. You're here. You're ready. Thank you for being here. Didn't lose many followers, which is pretty sick, man. Read through a bunch of the comments this morning. To be honest, I haven't even logged into YouTube in like 4 months. But I went through, read some of your comments. I really appreciate those that reached out, even like as long as 2 weeks ago, just saying, hey, we miss you. Where are you? I'm back, dropping this video with a massive drop today. Not many figures. We're looking at 3, but just 3 figures can make a huge impact. And we got a Primarch. We got our Victrix guards back. We got Voldus. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. With the first one being the Ultramarines Primarch, Guilliman. What is there to say? This dude is massive. There's a lot of videos out there now showing it, let's see, in Douyin, which is Chinese version of TikTok, where they were showing it off. It looks fantastic. It's massive. The joint system on this is amazing to see. I don't have any pictures of that. Thinking about it now, I probably should have added some in. I'm sorry for that. But hey, the Discord's out there. Go join the Discord, man. We're talking about this thing 24/7. You'll see a bunch of pictures and some videos that True has put up that show the inner workings of the neck peg that's going to be in this figure. All new design, which is great. But let's just look at it. Come on, here we go. Here is that frontal detail display showing him there with his sword down, helmet off, just looking amazing. I really hope the paint and this head sculpt makes it past this prototype stage. I hope the in-hand version matches this, because this is blowing my mind. I mean, the paint work, the detail, the sculpt work, it's all on point. Let's go ahead and look at our little display that shows his head, shoulder pauldron, his chest, that sword, just blown away by detail. Again, in this top right picture, you can kind of see how his elbow is going to work. We were told ratchet joints. In this image, clearly no ratchet joints. Maybe it's hidden up in the bicep. Time will tell on that. Here is a shot of him just standing that sword up. And the first thing you're going to see, obviously, a complaint that I've read a few times. A lot of people wish that fire could come off the sword, similar to Crow, where his flame effect you could actually put on or off the blade. The fire's flowing down. I've read a couple jokes on how it's flame from the warp, so it's magical. Either way, when you're displaying like this, it's not going to make much sense. It's probably going to drive you nuts. The only other way around this is if you find yourself a 3D printer or somebody that wants to run you a sword without the fire going up and down. It'd be pretty cool, but you're kind of stuck with really one pose option with that sword. Let's go ahead and look at the back display. Man, there's just so much going on. You got cables and cords, and so that the eagled piece that's on his backpack will actually come off of the backpack while the backpack can stay on. It's a separate piece, which is really nice. How that's going to play out when you're posing around, is it going to fall off every 5 minutes? That I don't know. I can tell you, and again, it was just a prototype, but they were showing this off on Joy Toys live stream. It did fall off a couple times. I'm hoping that to them it's like, oh, this is a design flaw. We need to hurry up and get this right before we get it out there into production. I feel they will, but again, time will tell. But you can see purity seals waving all over the place. This guy is a menace. I love it. So here's an action shot again. That fire now going upwards. It makes sense. So that's pretty much going to be your display options. You can give him that Conan display with the sword going over the top of his head. Again, with the sword flipped in the other direction again. But that fire is going to be a pain in the ass. The other thing you'll see is that ammo coil that's going from his backpack up into his firearm on his left hand. Is it going to hinder articulation? As you can see here, no. But you're also not going to be able to spin your arm around 360 degrees. What the hell are you doing that for? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, next picture. Here he is, helmet off, face looking glorious. Got that sword aimed down. However, the flame does work perfectly in this pose, which I'm loving. You'll see a additional hand attachment with his fingers open. If you want him choking somebody up against the wall, choke me daddy. You know, it's your call. Your figure, your call. So here's his loadout. Again, we've got sculpted head, we've got a helmeted head, his sword, and we have a total of 5 hands, 2 swap out massive hands for his left, 3 swap out for his right. So it's got some life in it. You know, these are really nice posed out hands. You could have him with his hand out in front of him, looking down into it, being all sad, wondering why the hell he woke up to the world in the state that it's in, or the galaxy rather. But there's a lot of options here. The knee joints, again, there was another video that was put out showing how those knees open up. It almost looked like pistons at first, but it's not. It is ratchet joints for sure in those knees. The other thing on that Joy Toy live stream, again, to reference it, they had him on a 1/6 scale dynamic flight stand. A lot of people were worried, well, okay, he's going to be top heavy, he's going to fall over. They have him on a stand. He doesn't include a stand, but again, I'm pretty sure that Joy Toy understands it's a top heavy figure, while also being one of the most highest selling figures they've done to date. They sold 1,500 units on their live stream in China, sold out on their live stream. Supposedly those are going to get replenished, which is great for them. This guy outsold the Victrix Guard in an hour, which is amazing. 1,500 units. So the production numbers on these are going to be higher. With that said, I wouldn't take that and say, oh, I could wait, a couple weeks and then I'll pick it up then. I understand it's expensive. This guy's sitting at around $125. It's not a cheap toy at all. But if you can find the money, run out there. I know PayPal's starting to do a 4 payment plan option, which, that's not a whole lot of money. I mean, come on, $125 divided by 4. And you can do it monthly. I don't want to pressure anybody into buying this because, again, it's expensive. $125 is a goddamn phone payment, so I understand. I feel the sooner you get it, the better. Would this see a rerun down the road? I don't know. Maybe Joy Toy, now that they have their 30K license, might want to entertain a 30K version of Guilliman. That part I'm not sure of either. But, dude, if you like it, get it. What the hell are you waiting for? Which brings us to this really cool picture here for scale. Scale purposes, a lot of people know, you should know if you don't, lore-wise, that your Primarchs are much taller than your standard Astartes. This picture does a really good job of representing that they're just above waist height on him. I believe I heard that Guilliman is 7 inches, give or take. It should be give. About the size of McFarlane's figure line, which is still, it's a good size, but it looks great, man. And these Victrix Guards, I'll get into that here right now. So the Victrix Guards are back. These things, when Joy Toy did their global live streams with Maggie, 5 to 6 comments every stream was, please redo the Victrix Guards. We want more Victrix Guards. Give us another shot. They did 1,000 worldwide. A majority of those sold in China. I have seen whale collectors who literally had like 20 of these on their shelf, which is a pretty good chunk of that 1,000-piece limit. Joy Toy continuously said, we're not re-releasing. We're not in the business of re-releases. If we do revisit the Victrix Guard, it'll be in a different color. And I think what that did is exactly what they set out to do, and keep you on the hook, wanting more, desiring more. And then they said, you know what, we're going to drop this bad boy. We're going to do numbers. And clearly, the entire community just blew up when they saw that they got more Victrix Guards coming. And again, these are not limited. There is, of course, a set production number. Nobody knows what that number is. It could be between 2,000 and 4,000 units. That number, again, is unknown. We knew the original V1 Victrix Guard had a 1,000-piece limit. Will these sell out? Yes. Anytime soon, that part I don't know. Nobody can really say when something's going to sell out soon unless a distributor wants to be nice and sweet and come out and say, hey, we're real close to running out. I've read and seen quite a few people that plan on army building this guy. I myself am going to get at least 2, and it would have originally been to go around Calgar, but now Guilliman needs a squad. So if you like them, get them. That's enough chatter. Here is the detailed display shot showing his head, his chest, his shield, his sword. I'm not going to go too much into detail in this. It's a little rehash, but one little minor thing to some, but it's pretty significant. Here is a shot in a gladiator stance, and you'll notice, and this is the only change, his hands are bigger. Joy Toy has implemented their 3.0 hand design. The hands are bigger. I have not had a 3.0 in my hand, so I can't really give my opinion on it, but based on what I've heard and read, they're 10 times better than the original 2.0 hand design, which were way too small. A lot of people had a hard time getting the sword in the hand. The sword would sometimes just pop out because the hand wasn't big enough. The shield would fall off hands too. So this is a great upgrade. Here is his back shot, cape, backpack, jetpack, shield. Everything's the same. Here's his loadout. Again, you're going to see hands. Now this part for me upsets me, and I'll tell you why. So yes, you're going to get 3 full sets of hands, 6 hands in total, which is great. Hands are great. But what we're losing from the 2.0 to the 3.0 crossover are the action pose hands. So the original Victrix Guard came with that really cool 2-finger pointing hand for directional of your army. He also had a nice high five jazz hand, which just, if you want to pose your figures to tell a story, you've kind of lost that option with this as far as hand posing goes. But I mean, we were begging for Victrix Guards to the point that we told Joy Toy we'd pay $150 if you just let us buy one. Now we've got them, $36 USD. It's a fucking steal, because there were people spending upwards of $150 to $200 on this guy last week. And shout out to you guys, man. Pour a glass out to anybody who spent that kind of money and this guy gets released. I mean, I'm sorry, but buy some more. It's a badass figure. Here's a little action stance of him again, just holding that sword up. Figured I'd throw this one in there and show you that hand does in fact almost fully encase that hilt to his sword. So the hands are nice and big. They're going to hold your weapons. No worry of them falling out. Now, are they going to be gummy enough to open without causing any stress to those fingers? That part I don't know. I do not know how stiff these hands are compared to the 1.0s. 2.0s were not bad, but 1.0s were very stiff. So if anyone in the comment section that wants to tell me how nice the 3.0s are, go ahead and tell me. Which brings us to Grey Knight's Grandmaster Voldus. It was teased a few days ago. Obviously, reveals. I'm way past the reveals. The figures are already up for sale, so I'm very sorry I've been so slow with that. But this guy is great. I don't know anything about him, so I'm sorry. To me, he looks like a space hobo, and that's what I'm calling him. But he looks great. For your Grey Knights fans, you're going to get a really good named character on your shelves. Here's that detailed display shot showing his face, his chest, shoulder pauldron with all that engraved writing, the book on his shoulder, his really sweet hammer. A lot of stuff going on, man. It's a busy figure. Here's the frontal detail display shot again, showing everything I just called out and more. Of course, you got that tunic, which we all know. The cape as well. It's a nice pliable rubber material. It doesn't fold. It's not fabric, but it can move out of your way. It'll hold poses. So it's nice. It's not in the way when you want to move your figure around, which is great. Here's a front and back detail display shot. You see his book / satchel on his hip, which is great. That cape flowing over to his left. Man, he's got another book on his right side. Lots of stuff going on. That beautiful crest above his head with the wings. Man, what a sick figure. This is great. Here's a nice little action pose with him two-handing his hammer. He's got that blaster on his left hand. The paintwork is great. The skull above his head on that crest looks great. The wings on the hammer. That blue glow effect on that hammer, that looks good. I really hope that comes out on the final version as clean as it does on the prototype, which sometimes it does happen. Things can be hit and miss. But for the most part, I'd say that Joy Toy nails it about 90% of the time, honestly. Here's his loadout. Of course, we got a hammer, and bam. So see, this is what I'm talking about. 2.0 hands. We've got the double finger pointing hand, the magic hand. So with this figure in particular, with the 2.0 hands, you're going to get way more character out of your figure. If you're not the type of person that opens his box, slaps it on the shelf, and doesn't care, it doesn't really bother you much, it's not going to have an effect. But for those that are figure photographers or just like to put a figure on display and almost give it a visual story, those very small, minute two-hand pieces are a game changer for displays. It doesn't leave a museum pose look. It doesn't look robotic. It gives it a really nice natural flow to your display. Very happy that those are included. And that is our wave, man. We got Guilliman, game changer. Victrix Guard re-release, which I know a lot of people are going to be happy about. That Victrix Guard caused quite a few people to quit, to be honest. They were not happy about a limited release, especially so limited as 1,000 pieces, where China ate up most of that stock. We got Valdis for your Grey Knights fans out there who get to add yet another character to your shelves. This is a huge wave. I'm happy to be back. Yes, I'm going to be doing these again. I'm going to go back and hit some of the ones that I didn't touch before, which I've got a lot of work to do, man. 4 months worth of videos I'm going to be busting my ass on for you guys. And I miss it. I really miss this. I miss you guys. Drop your comments below. I'm really happy to read them. Let me go ahead and get my plugs in. Cool Toys Club, Lloyd Chen. Go and shop with Cool Toys Club. He's a fantastic guy. Unfortunately, I no longer have any codes for him, which is fine. You know, it figures prices are going up. It's harder for some of the distributors to put percentage markups with codes. It's understandable. You know, business is business. We're just all collectors. He is just providing a phenomenal service. I have yet to have a package come in from Cool Toys Club that was destroyed. Granted, again, that comes down to the delivery service, not him, but they're packed safely. And that's what matters. His prices are good. They're not U.S. distributor prices, that's for damn sure. So check him out at Cool Toys Club. And then, dude, come and hang out in the Discord if you're not already. We're at over 2,300 members now. Conversations are aplenty. So come in, hang out, share what you got, share what you're after, share what you're interested in. And until next time, guys, thank you.